Hello everyone, this is Art from Inferno Outdoors, back with another quick product review. This is the Mora Kansbol. It's made by Mora. It's made from Scanvic 12C27 stainless steel. It's got a great 90-degree spine. It's 0.09 inches thick or 2.5 millimeters. Total length is 8.9 inches. The blade length is 4.3 inches, and it weighs 4.7 ounces, so it's very light. If you're going hiking or you're going backpacking and you want to keep your weight down, this is a great knife to bring. It comes in two colors, military green, which is this one. It also comes in a burnt orange. Comes with a decent sheath, definitely a better sheath than you would get out of a Mora No. 2. Not the greatest sheath, but it works just fine. It has good retention. Comes with a little leather belt loop. And I'm going to talk about the reason why I like this knife. Not so much just review it, but talk about how this fits my configurations and what I like to do. So if I was going to go out hiking or camping, and I was going to do some heavy usage with my knife, whether it be batoning bigger pieces or different types of cutting, maybe some chopping, things like that, this wouldn't be the knife I would use. This knife is a little thin, but for me, every time I go camping or hiking, I always bring the BK Becker 2. So I use this for batoning. I usually don't carry an axe or a hatchet because the weight. So I bring this knife and I use this to do any kind of like heavier duty stuff that I have to do. So I don't really have a need for the knife that I'm carrying to be that heavy a duty. So this blade is kind of thin. It has a Scanda grind, and then it starts to taper off into a flat edge, and the whole blade thins out. So this knife has multiple uses, and that's the reason why I like this and why it fits for what I like to do with it. I'm gonna baton a small piece of wood, make a feather stick, and show you how it works. But like I said, I normally wouldn't bring this out and baton with it. Normally I would use either an axe, which a lot of times I don't bring anyway, but I'll use my Becker. I also always bring a small folding saw. So for what I use this for, this knife is fantastic. So if you find yourself, with some of the uses I'm gonna go over that you might, get use out of that, and when you're camping and when you're hiking and things like that, then this might fit, how you want to use it. So, as I said, it starts with a Scanda grind and it tapers off into a flat edge. Now, the top of this edge is really great for slicing. You can gut a fish with it, food prep. I do a lot of cooking when I'm camping, things like that. So, being that it's thin and being that it's super sharp, it's razor sharp. It came sharp. I also sharpened it. I have a system of sharpening that I like to do with sandpaper, and then I finish off on a strop. I'm going to post a video about that. But this knife really retains its edge pretty well, and it just comes out razor sharp. So what I'm going to do is just show you, just so you can see. I'm going to baton this small piece of wood. I wouldn't do anything much bigger than this. It's a thin blade. I'm sure it can handle it. I've seen videos, stress test videos and things like that, but not really how I use this type of knife. So what we'll do is we'll just do a little batoning. So went through that no problem. Like I said, it's thin, super sharp, goes right through it. Let's do another piece. So with the Scanda grind edge that you have here on the bottom portion of the knife, it does a really good job of making feather sticks. And the reason I like to carry this knife is because that's pretty much what I'm using it for. I'll make feather sticks with it, and I'll do a lot of slicing and food prep and things like that. But it's a great knife. It has a nice handle. It's a rubberized handle, better handle than a lot of other Moras I've had. But it's a really good grip. So just make a little feather stick. Wood is pretty dry. So I don't typically light fires off of the feather stick, but what I like to do is I like to make these. So obviously not the greatest feather stick you've seen, I'm sure, but I like to make these, and then I always use my ferro rod, which is a fat wood handle from 4 Directions Bushcraft. I did a review on this. This is an excellent product. I'll make a little pile out of this. Another thing with this knife is I've noticed with other knives that I have that might be a little thicker, it wants to take a little bit too much of a chunk of this. So with this knife, it's super thin, and I could take little fine shavings from this. And with this feather stick, that's not very well made feather stick, but with this, I can get a little fire going. And then I can use this to get it going. It's a little easier when you have feathering. And probably the best feature about this knife is that 90-degree spine. You see how it catches sparks. So here we got it going already. And we take this. You can see, poorly made feather stick, but it went right up. And that'll be all we needed to get started with a fire. So if you have a use for this knife, kind of like how I described what I like to use it for, which is lots of food prep, lots of slicing, shaving off of fat wood, 90-degree spine for striking, and also having the ability to have a thin blade at the edge where you can do some really good slicing with food prep, fish, things like that. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to post a link to Amazon, which is where I got this from, in the comments. This, I think right now, is selling for $34. It comes with, for that price, it comes with this sheath, but it also comes with a Molly kind of like attachment that you can attach to your bag, which I'll do a review on that too, because I have that, and that's a pretty good, you know, it's an extra $10 or an extra $12, and you can get that sheath. But I have both sheaths. But see, the fire's still burning. A poorly made feather stick, but the fire is still burning. And you know, this item works really well. You know, it's Mora. I'm sure, as you all know, Mora makes, you know, really good budget-friendly knives that work very well. But thank you for watching the video. Have a good day.